It's statement time.
Statements. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Are we starting off? Who's starting off here?
You start.
I'm gonna start. Okay, I couldn't tell.
I'm gonna have you. You know what?
You had the Judd Zolgad dramatic pause.
I was
like
trying
you
to decide.
always do.
I was trying to decide who should start off. I wanted to create some drama. Ordinarily, I start, and then Phil goes, and then you go. But Phil not being here today caused me to rethink ball distribution, Rubio-like, and I thought I could either put up a flat statement, a flat shot, and it could clang, or I could allow the Kirill Kaprizov of this show with a great salad to start off.
Wow, the Kirill Kaprizov. I kind of like the Kevin Fiala because I like playing pissed off behind the scenes.
I feel like you've got Kaprizov's hair.
Well, yeah, I have the great hair. I do have to get it cut. I have an appointment next Saturday.
I got mine cut.
Get it trimmed up a little bit.
My beard trimmed a couple days ago.
Job.
Actually, I don't look great.
All right, statements. I won't. It's not a haircut one.
All right.
So this statement is, you don't have to mortgage the farm, but you need to upgrade the furnace. What I mean by that, Mr. Judd Zolgad, as not the homeowner of the group here, is I'm talking to the Minnesota Wild. And although your team is playing very well right now, if I'm Bill Guerin, why would I add to this team? Team's fired on all cylinders, got 4 lines clicking. I got 3 defensive pairs who have great, arguably the best goaltending tandem in the league right now. What would I buy? Why I didn't go to the home improvement store? No. Billy, trust me here, buddy. The furnace keeps you warm at night, right? The furnace keeps you very warm.
As I learned when mine was broken about a month and a half ago.
Judd can speak on this a lot better than what happened to him last month.
Yeah, thank God it wasn't during the coldest part of the year.
At the same time, Judd had to fix that furnace because
I brought in some experts to do
because he needed a better surrounding household. And that's just like the Minnesota Wild. They need to upgrade the furnace. You need to go get one more center. I'm not asking you to go get Jack Eichel. I would like to see it, but I'm not going to plead for you to do that. I'm not asking you to be in the Patrick Laine and the Pierre-Luc Dubois sweepstakes like at the beginning of the season where there was a bunch of stuff going on. I will have to have you pick up the phone and check that furnace to make sure that we are in the right position for the stretch run. So, Bill Guerin, you don't need to mortgage the farm. That's fine, but you need to upgrade your furnace. That is my first statement.
I wonder who they're going to get if they get a guy, because it isn't. I don't think they're going to get. I think you're right. I think they're not going to give up a ton right now.
No.
To make a trade for a center. But if they want to make a run in the playoffs, they need one. Again, you know what this comes back to?
What's that?
This comes back to, and I think we talked about this on Judd's Hockey Show a few weeks ago. This comes back to the one great unknown about them, which is, where does Bill Guerin see this team right now?
Yeah.
Like, does he look at it and say, oh my God, this is, this team, Kaprizov, or does he say, yeah, we're close, but there's still work to be done, and I can actually orchestrate a better trade after the season is done. And it also comes back to this, Dex, Dumba. Because, he is going to have to be a chip in that trade. I think he has to be. Unless it's a small, unless it's a guy who you would consider a 3 or 4, which they've got. But if you're going to get a top 2 or a top line, if you're going to get Victor Rask's replacement, who's going to be good, I think it's going to cost you Dumba.
It's going to cost you Dumba, or do you want to part back with Keon Addison, who, by the way, is playing well in Iowa?
And by the way, I don't.
Looks damn good.
And by the way, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
All right.
You're up, man.
Statement 1.
What do you got for me?
Statement 1.
Hit me.
In fact, there was a report from our guy H. Lake of CCO yesterday on Twitter about this. Real good guy.
Yep.
Very, very plugged in with local basketball officials and people. So
love me some Lake.
I'm sure he's right. But my statement is, if you can't beat Northwestern and Nebraska, Richard Pitino, you're going to have to pack your bags and go. This has become...
Nebraska's bad, right? Like, I don't follow Gopher.
Northwestern and Nebraska are awful.
They didn't win a game since Christmas, right?
They
Northwestern
are awful.
Oh my God.
In fact, I've got it right here for you, Declan.
All right.
Since you asked the question, Northwestern had lost 13 consecutive games before they came into the barn and won. Okay.
Okay.
The Cornhuskers had lost 5 in a row and 9 of 10 before they took a very big lead. The Gophers with Marcus Carr rallied, and I believe he scored 40. And yes, Gabe Kalsher and yes, Liam Robbins are out. I don't care. You're talking.
Look at our show. We're still functioning.
Yeah, and you got beat by 2 absolutely awful basketball teams. Richard Pitino, it's just done. It has to be done. And here's why. Yes, it's going to cost, and it's going to look bad when you're in the process of dropping 3 minor men's sports. It's going to look bad to pay a buyout, which I believe is $1.7 million when Patino gets fired, that he's going to have to be given a check to go away. But one, as our friend Doogie has said, that check is going to probably be written by a couple of boosters. So it's not going to come from your fund, your slush fund. And two, if you come back with Patino as your coach in 2021-22, good luck in what's going to be an extremely competitive sports environment selling tickets. It's absolutely done. The other thing that's really damning, like there's lots of things here. And quit telling me Robbins and Kalsher are out. You lost it to horse bleep teams, okay?
Yeah.
Like you can give me, if you had lost back-to-back games to the Hawkeyes and Michigan, then I'm like, it does, right?
Yep.
It does hurt. But you are losing to teams that you should beat with your bench. This season, the Gophers were 11-4 and 4-4 in the Big Ten, and since then have gone 2-8, including 5 consecutive losses. And they are now 13-12, and more importantly, with games against Penn State and Rutgers and the Big Ten tournament left, they are 6-12 in the conference. All right? Last season, the Gophers, if that sounds familiar, it should. Last season, the Gophers were 11-8 and 5-4 in the conference before going 3-8. So they only won 3 of their last 11 regular season Big Ten games to fall to 14-16 and 8-12 in the Big Ten. They beat Northwestern in game 1 of the Big Ten tourney, and then because of COVID, the season was canceled. But the point being is you have back-to-back just epic collapses.
Let me ask you this, because I think their peak ranking around midseason, especially after the Michigan loss, I think the Gophers were about 15th, 16th in the country. Yeah. I don't know if they got any higher than that. I think you posted that.
ScoreNorth.com graphic.
Thank you.
Or Score North Twitter graphic.
Executive producer.
That's what an executive producer does.
What's more disappointing to you, Judd? This collapse, this second half collapse by the Gopher basketball team, or the Gopher football team completely falling on its face this last season? What's more disappointing to you?
That's an excellent question, Declan Goff. Excellent question. I can't give you that, but it is a good question. You know what? I think it might be basketball.
What's maybe
because they were playing well. Look, they can't win road games, right? They're the only Big Ten team that has not won a road game, 0-9. But they beat Iowa at home, good team. Michigan, really good team. Purdue, Michigan State. So they had proven themselves to be good. The Big Ten football season to me was, because of COVID, so screwed up that I almost didn't like. I paid attention, but I was like, well, guys aren't playing and this and that.
I hear you on that.
But
that makes sense.
But the Gophers were playing well, and I get it, the 2 guys are out, but when you lose to these 2 teams, and for the second consecutive year, Dex, you just collapse, and Marcus Carr's playing, so it's not like your best player's out. I think I'm actually more disappointed in the in-season fall of the Gopher basketball team, because the football season to me was just so weird. So what's your one? What's your disappointment?
I'm obviously a St. Cloud State grad. Go Huskies. And I don't follow Gopher athletics as much
people in this tone
as as other Minnesotans do. At the same time, I mean, the Gopher football team was supposed to be damn good, dude. Last year was the best Gopher football season of my lifetime by far.
Oh yeah,
it's not even close. I mean, we were the perennial Sun Bowls in 2003 was the other highlight of Gopher football.
It was disappointing. You're not wrong about that.
So I actually think it's more, because I don't think anyone's expecting Gopher basketball team midway through the season to be 15th in the country. Everyone kind of thought maybe a fringe top 25 team, maybe they sneak in. You would have polled anyone on January 1st, like, oh yeah, the Gophers might be a 5 seed. There was talk when Lombardi would start putting out the first bracketology, the Gophers could be a 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
And now they might not even get an at-large bid.
And they're going to fire the coach.
Yep. So sorry.
Statement 2 from Declan Goff.
All right. Statement number 2. It's baseball is back. You have fresh cut grass, Judd. Crack of the bat. And you also have Byron Buxton crashing into walls. Baseball is back.
Now, somebody said that, I tweeted that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the radio broadcast early in that game yesterday, they said he crashed into the wall. I then got a note from a person saying, I saw the replay and he didn't. So I'm not quite sure.
There's a AP Images has a photo of him making a very nice catch right up against. I don't know if he crashed. He probably hit it.
Okay. But probably
at the same time, look, spring training is back. There's fans in Florida, which is
people are flying to people are flying to Florida. Florida's open for business.
Yes,
Ron DeSantis.
It is open for business.
Digress.
My
I'm
God.
sorry.
But at the same time, baseball's back. Spring training is underway.
Don't go there.
That's phenomenal. It looks like we're going to get a baseball season that probably
in my notes too, by the way,
starts on time. And I know that Target Field's pushing for fans, 10,000 fans on opening day. We'll see if they were able to get to that mark. I want nothing more. There's no other sporting event I want to enjoy more than a $15 beverage, adult beverage in my hand.
I know you do.
Sitting in the stands.
I know, because that's what executive producers do. They buy expensive beers.
If I'm freezing my arse off at Target Field and it's still 45 degrees on, April 10th when the Twins, whenever the hell it is, they play their first home game.
Yes, sir.
I want that to happen. So yes, baseball's back. I want to hear all those smells. I want to see Byron Buxton hopefully stay healthy, for God's sakes. But I'm glad baseball's back.
I am glad that you transitioned to the Twins and baseball, because I have a statement as well, and it's purely selfish. It has nothing to do with the product on the field on Sunday. It has to do with how Judd Zulgad was impacted by that. Okay,
classic. Yep.
And it's this: the Twins' first spring training game should always be televised.
Yeah,
it's 2021. Announcers can work. I don't care if they're at the ballpark. I don't care if it's a simulcast off of what CCO is doing. I don't care if Bramer and Morneau are back here in a studio. But Fox Sports North, give me the damn video feed from Spring Training 1. Game 1. I pay far too much for cable for you not to televise that game, okay?
Yeah.
You said it yourself, Dex. Green grass, the ball field.
Buxton crashing.
Everything is, but I mean, Spring Training Game 1 basically is like pumping sports hope into your veins, right?
Yeah.
Like it's oxygen. Mm-hmm. It's oxygen. And you might not watch the whole thing, and I don't care. You know who writes the check out to Xfinity? I do.
Mr. Zulgad.
Dawn does, okay? Do you know what I want? I want all my sports. And especially because I am not dropping cable, Fox Sports North. Here's my thing. You're compromised now. I don't care, Sinclair. Carry everything. Like, I'm paying you huge money. Carry everything. That's why I get cable, okay? Spring Training Game 1 is the oxygen of baseball. And I wanted to, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to duck in yesterday and watch at least the first 3 innings of that game and see the Red Sox and the Twins.
Yeah, man.
And it was on radio, and they're not televising a game till Wednesday. And by the way, I saw a note. The Angels are televising, and it's a Fox Sports affiliate too. I'm sure soon to be a Bally Sports West. They are televising every spring training game. All right. I want you to basically damn near do the same. And I don't care about your production costs.
Yeah.
I don't care about your production costs because I'm paying you a lot to do this. I want the Wolves. I want the Wild. I want the Twins. And I want that first spring training game. That was one of the things that drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, we can't reach agreements with this and that and with blah, blah. Well, then show the damn game.
Yeah. I hear you, man. It stinks. I mean, I have my own resources now to watch games, and hey, I'm excited to watch Wild play Vegas tonight because I haven't heard the Vegas announcers before. So I hear what the Vegas announcers sound like. I have this great option because with Sinclair screwing me, I now get to watch all the opposing.
You know what they don't sound like? They don't sound like this.
Kaprizov fights off the check. Out to the line, Brodin, a drive. Got through, save quick. Kaprizov on the right road. He scores!
Oh, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Statement 3. These calls are what I think. Did we talk about this on?
I have talked about it on the one-timer on Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The Dumba goal, which I didn't play. The Dumba goal is why I request that LaPanta tone down some, not all, some calls, because the problem is he goes so over the top on almost every Wild goal.
Yeah.
How do you then take the Dumbo goal, which, by the way, deserves a special treatment.
Yes,
like that deserves the special sauce, right?
Yes, it does.
Like the unbelievable, how do you do that when every goal call is over the top?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I requested bring down some of the goal calls so that when we get the big one, it can hit the right seismic level of goal call.
Good word there.
All right. Statement 3 from you.
Statement 3 for me, it's not really a sports one. It's just more of I am ready for spring. So it's March 1st. I am born and bred in this state. I have spent my entire 28 years of existence in this state, here in the Twin Cities or in St. Cloud during a period of my life. But at the same time, I know we are not close to being done with winter. I know
another snowstorm.
That we're going to get a snow in March.
Yeah, but it's going to warm up.
We're going to get a snow in April. And we're going to get a snow between May 1st and May 5th. It happens every year of my damn life. I'm well aware.
Are the Twins home?
We are not through winter. I'm well aware of it. But this weekend, I was able to get outside, was able to walk around, 45 degrees, minimal coat, no gloves, no hat, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just being able to walk around. You tweeted at me and said, you know what's even warmer? What, you were watching the Devils and Caps? Is that what you were watching?
On my couch, yeah.
Yeah,
it was great. Saturday.
And meanwhile, me and Stella were outside causing hell.
No, Stella was with me.
Oh, Stella was with you.
Oh, she had
she
had
on
the
Friday night?
She had the No, she had the Caps and a substantial bet.
Oh, wow. She's a bettor, huh?
Oh, she bets on sports.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I avoid
dog,
betting.
My dog. That's a lot.
But I am ready for spring, man. And I know we are still not through this. Today it's a little colder. We got some snow on Saturday night and lingered into Sunday. It gets back to the Minnesota. 40s and 50s. I can't tell you how good 45 and 50 degrees feels when I'm able to walk outside. Yes, seriously. I mean, we suffer through this frozen hell for 8 weeks of the year because our summers are great. So I am ready for summer. I'm ready for spring. We don't really have a spring in Minnesota. I like to call it muck. It's muck season. It's gross and it's wet and there's puddles everywhere and there's the melted snow and then all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah, but
it's
a
summer.
nice spring day is great.
It is. It's elite. So I am ready for spring. That is my third and final statement in the edition of Weekend.
Oh, I've got a couple more for you.
Oh my God! Well,
I've got a couple more for you.
Your half a show. Your show. Your show. You're
the executive producer. Yeah, I mean,
you're half.
What am I? Just all.
Yeah, you're all good. As I told the boys on Vetline yesterday, we had a Vetline episode.
Oh yeah,
on Daily
that
YouTube.
sounded like it was real good.
Yeah. And I told them, I said, look, Mackey and Judd are so, they're so far up there, what. They have their own show with their own name on it. I'm not going to call Declan's Ventline. I'm not going to put my name on it.
We once had billboards.
Not homers. Hometown guys, right?
And ballsy, too.
I love the ballsy.
That got taken down.
Yeah, that got one. That didn't go far. But anyway, yes, those are my statements.
Wolves statements for me.
Oh, I think I know you're going.
Well, I've got two of them, but I'm going to start off with one that you're going to like.
You better go with my guy.
But you're not going to like, but I think you might rant. So, okay. My statements to the Wolves are actually two people, or they're four people. So I'm going to give this, and statement one is for Chris Finch, okay? New Wolves coach. Chris, I'm sure you tuned into the podcast now. You're told it's very popular.
Yeah.
Chris, Jaden McDaniels has to play more than 8 minutes and 45 seconds in a game. And I understand that you said that you're trying different things and you're new, and I totally get that, okay? But you got blown out after being essentially blown out in the second half at Washington on Saturday. You got blown out by Phoenix at Target Center last night. And I understand that you're trying to look at players. Completely get it. Jaden McDaniels, though, doesn't deserve to pay the minutes price for that. Declan's guy. And
my guy.
You were on Jaden McDaniels like when the season started.
Early.
So this is not a you saw him play a lot and thought he should play. You were telling me on a Mackey and Judd, I think that we did without Phil, Jaden McDaniels has to play more. Anyway, statement. You're right. 8:45 in a blowout loss to the Suns is ridiculous.
Here's the genius Chris Finch and why Jaden McDaniels didn't play much last night.
Losing Cat, and then just a little bit of kind of misfortune here, whether it be ours turnovers or just needed to make.
Wrong clip. That was Mike Beasley from the other weekend. Anyway, I'll find the clip. But yes, Jaden McDaniels, for God's sakes, 28th overall pick. He was a steal. He was supposed to be a lottery pick, Judd. He was supposed to be a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Going into the college basketball season. And now all of a sudden, Chris Finch comes in here, and my God, I bet he is wishing he probably didn't take this job. I don't blame him either. That you bury Jaden McDaniels. Malik Beasley's out too, by the way. I mean, you're not going to see him for a couple of weeks.
Found that out on Friday.
So at the same time, get these, like the Wolves are the worst team in the NBA right now. There's zero reason why Jaden McDaniels should not be playing 20 minutes a night.
Jarrett Culver played 906.
Right.
Jarrett Culver played more than McDaniels.
That's absurd. That's unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable.
The only guy that played, who got in the game last night that played less than Jaden was Hernan Gomez, played 706. Okay, so that's statement one. Statement two goes to the old savvy veteran point guard, Ricky Rubio, okay? And it's a very simple statement. Ricky, I know you listen. You can't lead if you're not good, all right? So they put Ricky, and God bless him, he does these post-game Zooms all the time because I think he feels responsible for, like, I'm the guy and it should be Cat. And when Cat talks, he's fantastic. So no slam against Cat. But Ricky does the post-game Zooms a lot. And I'm going to read you a quote. And I want your reaction to how it feels sincere, but how much weight this carries based off who he is now. Okay.
Yeah, all right, I'm ready.
It's a quote from the piece that Chris Hine did in today's Star Tribune, or at least on StarTribune.com. Ricky said, "There's a lot of things we have to figure out and correct and get better." Okay, he's right so far. Quote, "We got to start somewhere, and hopefully the next few days we fix that. It's more on us to compete in every game. Start with everybody. Cat, Ant, me, got to lead out there. Everybody's got to do a better job." Okay, none of that's wrong. He's 100% correct.
Correct.
But he's not good. So it carries no weight. Like, you can't be... I know what he's trying to do, and if he was a good player still, it would be perfect. But he's basically trying to lead without being good enough to lead. Unless that statement comes from Cat, basically, I don't care.
Okay.
So, like, Ricky can say all he wants about we need, because my comeback is Ricky, you got to figure out your own game. Personally, I just think it didn't work, and I would try, and I know that Russell's not playing, but I think at some point in time, you probably have to try and move on as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because Ricky, the whole thing is it doesn't work. And I don't know, on this team, with as bad as this team is and where the future should be going, Declan,
yeah,
I don't know what his role is. Like, I watch him play, and yes, he'll knock down some shots, but then he gets, like, emboldened to take more shots, and he's got that flat, terrible shot, and I know my shot is worse. That's not the point. The point is he's paid to play, and I'm not. So I just don't know where this is going, but I do know this. The whole idea of Ryan's the coach, he's close with Ricky, Ricky's going to come in and sort of, like, lead and help out, has fallen completely flat.
Yeah, look, March 25th is the NBA trade deadline. Ricky Rubio was brought in here to be a nice veteran voice, and you know what? And I know you're critical of him not being a good player. I hear you. I get that. But what he's been able to bring off the court is he's hitting those needs. He's satisfying those needs. I know there might be some fraudulent to the comments because he's no longer...
Well, and it's not his fault. He's just not good.
He's just not... Well, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if, because
he looks
ever
old.
since...
He looks cooked.
But when he was in Phoenix and Utah, he finally blossomed into the player everyone thought he would be.
I know. But there's no way that his style, there's no way that the game he plays is going in the direction that Chris Finch will.
Sure. And
D'Lo is going to come back eventually.
Yep.
McLaughlin can play a backup. I'm just saying the whole goal, I think, was to bring Ricky in and have him sort of team with Ryan and give you this veteran guy who obviously was very close with the coach and gelled. And it's just sort of blown up.
Yeah, I think on the March 25th deadline, he probably goes. He still has one more year left, too, on his contract.
And he could probably help a team off the bench. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the problem is. I just know this doesn't work.
Go to the Clippers. Clippers need a point guard.
And I admire the fact that he jumps on these post-game Zooms, which he does not have to do, and takes accountability.
Yeah.
I've just never, you can't play like he's playing and be the voice.
No.
You just can't. It's not, I'm not ripping him for what he's trying to do. He's right to try and do it. It just carries no weight.
I hear you.
Like, if I'm a player, I'm like, dude, why? Yeah. you're not good. Like, seriously, you're just not that good.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, but nothing that Gerson Rosas tried to do for 2021 has worked.
All right.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing's worked.
I have a statement for you because it's semi-breaking news.
Oh, nice.
Here on Mackey and Judd. Do I have a breaking news sounder available as I try to? Here we go. I got one.
Okay. I was going to say, I found it. I found it for you.
Breaking news statement as we're really recording this at 11:05 on a Monday. Minnesota Wild goaltender Alex Stalock. He has been claimed by the Edmonton Oilers. So the South St. Paul native.
Oh, they did claim him. Oh, I thought a Canadian team wouldn't claim him because of the time that he have to go into COVID protocols. Yeah.
So Edmonton claims Alex Stalock. This gives the Wild some salary cap relief. They get about 400. They almost get $500K cleared in salary cap relief. Edmonton has been looking for a goaltender forever. And Alex Stalock is being buried right now with Capo playing very well, Cam Talbot playing well. No surprise. And look, Al was dealing with some health stuff, I believe, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Wish him the best. I hope he's able to find success in Edmonton. But my breaking news statement: Alex Stalock, the South St. Paul native, who filled in admirably last season, by the way.
Yes, he did a nice job. And by the way, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yes, one of the nicest guys. Very good dude. Also, he would like to be a six. He's a sixth player on the ice for you. He can literally move the puck, probably as good as any goaltender in the league.
Interesting.
So Alex Stalock heading to Edmonton.
So they've got Koskinen and Mike Smith, and Smith was hurt to start the season, and so Koskinen basically played every night.
Yeah,
and he is not geared to play every night. I mean, that's a tall task for an elite goalie, especially with the schedule the teams are playing now.
Yep.
So that is intriguing, and so I believe because of what you mentioned with the protocols, I think he has to sit out now Stalock has to sit for 2 more weeks in Edmonton. But actually, that leads to perfectly dovetails a final statement from me.
Okay, hit me.
So the goal in signing Stalock originally, when it was done 2 years ago now, is that right? Year and a half ago? Anyway, the goal was to have him be the goaltender that was exposed in the expansion draft, which is now going to be July of 2021 to the Kraken.
Mm-hmm. Great name.
That has changed dramatically. And my statement is this.
Okay.
The Wild is going to need to make Capo Kakkonen the goalie they protect in the expansion draft with Seattle, not Cam Talbot. And here's why. I think of their goaltender choices from around the league that they almost certainly won't take Talbot. I don't think. If Kakkonen is available, he's showing a lot, young goaltender. I think they take him, quite possibly.
Yeah.
And so I now have shifted from, despite the fact that Talbot is going to be considered your top goaltender, I actually protect Capo based on what I think Seattle would do, and I expose Cam Talbot because you can only protect one goaltender.
Okay, but not to poo-poo it, but I think because he's only a first and second year player, I believe he's exempt. I don't think he even can be exposed.
No, I actually looked that up. He can be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he can be exposed.
He can be exposed and has to be. And so the problem there is I think it might be tempting.
Yeah. And
I don't know because they're going to have their choice of some pretty good, not great, but good goalies. Potentially.
Yes.
Well, hell, they could take Fleury possibly too, and put him on an expansion team for the second time in his career.
I think he's.
But anyway, my point is,
go for it.
With the way the Kakkonen's played,
yep,
I protect him now. I really like him.
Yeah,
I like him, and I think he's improving.
I think he's a very solid goaltender. And look, last year he showed flashes. He was the AHL goalie of the year, and there were some scouts say, "Well, he's good. I don't think he's a number one." That's what a lot of scouts said going into the season.
Yes.
And look, that might still be true. He might not be a true number one, but I can tell you right now, he looks damn comfortable. And goalies is a crapshoot, people. Goalies, it projecting. Look at Darcy Kemper. Darcy Kemper was an absolute mess here. You know why? Because he was young. He was thrown into the fire. He wasn't ready. And now Darcy Kemper, maybe a fringe top 10 goalie in the NHL right now. It takes time for these guys.
Yes.
And Talbot.
Yes.
I'm glad he looked great on Friday. Our friend of the show, Patrick Donnelly, cursed him not getting that damn shutout. Patrick, if you're listening, I'm still blaming you. At the same time,
Patrick's old
Talbot's
like me.
good.
He doesn't care
Yeah.
about those stupid.
And
Don't
good for
mention
him,
the
by the
shutout
way.
rules.
Good for him, by the way. I'm just busting his chops a little bit, but at the same time, I think that's excellent. So yes, Talbot, Capo. I think at this point you have to because Talbot's up there in age. Also the salary cap. You have to figure out how you're going to free up some cap to make some hay.
Stalock gone, huh? Oilers very cold
Oilers.
up there. Very
Good luck
very
in
cold,
Edmonton,
just
my
like here.
God. Yeah.
All right, we're done. Phil will be back for Tuesday's show. We, I'm sure we'll have more to discuss, his thoughts also as we delve into, by the way, as the week progresses, more and more Twins discussion, because you're not going to get better Twins coverage anywhere else. We are going to provide you with plenty of Twins reckless speculation as well. He is executive producer Declan Goff.
Okay.
I am Judd Zolgad. We'll talk to you soon.